The fishing news is brought to you by Interlux Marine Paint and Fanatics of Ocean City, celebrating 25 years at the Jersey Shore. And also brought to you by Maxima Fishing Line.
Well, apparently Mother Nature is making up for the lack of April showers and hitting us up this first week in May. And it's not just the rain that we've had this week. It's just cold, damp, raw, all the way to the bones. And looking ahead towards the weather forecast for our region for the weekend coming up, looks like we might have much of the same. A couple of opportunities for you in between the raindrops, but all in all, looks like a dismal weekend. I'm Jim Hutchinson with the New Jersey Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine, and despite the weather, we do have a lot of great fishing opportunities, especially the bluefish. The bluefish invasion is underway in our region, and these are big fish, big lean fish, but we're talking about fish in the teens up into the 20s. We start our report with Nick Konacheski, who's putting in a lot of time with a lot of other folks. It's like a picket fence along the Manasquan Inlet on both sides, along the wall, along the rocks, but folks are just tangling with all kinds of giant bluefish there. Talked to Jimmy Frieda, who's running out of Manasquan in that area, and he says the bluefish are out front as well. We're getting the same reports down around the Barnegat Inlet as well. Talked to Scotty Albertson at Scott's Bait and Tackle in Mystic Island. He says that that drum and striped bass bite at the Graveling has been supplanted by these bluefish which are invading. I'm sure those drum and stripers are in the area too, but it's just you can't get a bait past the bluefish. In fact, Violet up at Chestnut Neck in Port Republic says those bluefish are up the Mullica River as far as the Parkway Bridge. So the bluefish invasion is definitely underway. The poppers, the metals, the flies, the through-wired Sharpies. I mean, everything's working on these big blues. In fact, we're hoping to get some of those Dreamboat entries in real quick. As a matter of fact, we've got a 21-pounder that was registered up in on the south shore of Long Island from Terrence McNicholas. So we're still waiting to find out if that 21-pound bluefish is going to be a Fisherman Magazine Dreamboat subscription weigh-in. So we'll keep you posted. Stay tuned to thefisherman.com for the information on that. Now, in between this manic bluefish bite, we've got stripers still, especially up in the Raritan. Under gray skies this week, it's been a pretty good striper bite up on the Raritan, various locations. Dreamboat winner Guy Buono from last year, he's been out putting the boots to some striped bass, doing a lot of catch and release. In fact, he's tagging and releasing a lot of big fish, including this 41-incher earlier this week. Way to go, Guy. We've also got a good bite that materialized earlier this week down around Atlantic City on the beachfront, checking in with One Stop Bait and Tackle. They said quite a few stripers are coming in from some of the jetties down there, including this 38-incher under cloudy skies. So yeah, if you can get in under the raindrops, or if you don't mind the rain, the stripers are there. They certainly don't mind, and that's a good sign. Earlier this week, I was up in Philadelphia. I stopped by Brinkman's Bait and Tackle. They were telling me, and they were showing me some photos of some huge stripers that have been caught and released in the last few days, just sagging with eggs. It's good to see those fish released, but the folks at Brinkman's tell me they haven't seen a bite upriver this good in quite a few years, at least before Sandy. And when I headed across the other side of the river and checked in with STC Sports, they had some good fish to show, including this one. Good-sized fish up along the Delaware. Now, if you think about it, if there hasn't been a good run up the river like that in quite a while, what's going to happen? Well, when the spawn is done later on this month, those fish are going to drop down the bay, down around Cape May. So folks are saying that they haven't had a good spring bite in the rips in the last few years. This could be the year that it happens, because those stripers have got to make their way through. And that's a good indication that we could have a good June into early July striper bite along the front beaches as well. We'll keep our eyes open on that. Right now, the party boats, they are sailing for stripers and bluefish, at least until the fluke and sea bass season opens up later on this month. We did get a message from the captain of the Misty Morn, said they ended up getting chartered for Friday. So they're not sailing open boat on Friday, they have a charter. But if you want to find out who's sailing, make sure you turn to the Fisherman Magazine, the weekly, our monthly edition. You can also find out more information on thefisherman.com. This rain, of course, that we're having the last few days, and any rain we have in the next few days, won't be bad for the freshwater scene. A lot of those streams and rivers, they're falling very low, so a little bit of extra water in these streams and rivers will definitely help the flow and should help the trout fishing, although Cliff Lang hit him up pretty good. Earlier, he had a 6.5-pound rainbow at the south branch of the Raritan, sent this photo in to us. Let me switch gears. some sad news to report this week. Our condolences go out to the Morris family, Lewis Harbor Marina. Captain Joe Morris, just such a great guy, was diagnosed earlier this year with pancreatic cancer, and he passed away earlier this week. Longtime member of the Fisherman family, and I just send my prayers out to the Morris family and all of us at the Fisherman magazine. We do send our condolences. It's a big loss. So with that, sorry. The New Jersey Marine Fisheries Digest is out. I want you to go make sure you get a hold of that. It's online. It's finally going out to some of the tackle shops in New Jersey. You can pick it up for the latest regulations. They're all improved. So don't forget, also go over and get your registry. If you haven't gotten your registry yet, make sure you do so, because it's the law. And if you're fishing along the border with New York, get the New York registry. Or if you're down there in Delaware, you're fishing over the border in the Delaware Bay, make sure you check in with the state of Delaware and get that registration or that license in place. Now, don't forget your subscription to the Fisherman magazine, of course. The Dreamboat contest is on. Our 50th anniversary just came out, a huge edition. You can go check that out for free over at thefisherman.com. We hope to have some more reports on Black Drum next week. That action should be starting on that Delaware side, and then, of course, for the guys in Cape May. Until then, I want you to be careful out there. Keep an eye on the weather. Check your leader for frays, especially with those bluefish. Don't burn your best friend's spot. And let's remember, let's try to respect the fish and respect your fellow fishermen. Until next week, catch them up, my friends. We'll see you here at thefisherman.com.
The fishing news is brought to you by Intellux Marine Paint and Fanatics of Ocean City, celebrating 25 years at the Jersey Shore. And also brought to you by Maxima Fishing Line.